Hello friends and potential friends. Well, as you can see, I'm not in the garden, but this is still pretty much garden related because this is where I get the water that I use to water the garden. It's a 275 gallon IBC tote. It's fed off of this back roof, and let me tell you, in one good summer thunder shower I can fill this tank up and that 55 gallon barrel over there. The problem is I'm constantly pulling trash out of that gutter, and a lot of that trash winds up in my tanks. As you can see, I've got some, shall we call them, issues with these trees. This is an invasive tree called a rain tree, and they try to spread everywhere. These ones happen to be growing in my neighbor's yard, but they mostly hang over my roof, and one of these days I'm going to have to get up the nerve to get up there and try to cut them things back. But meanwhile, they just keep dropping leaves and small branches onto the roof, and those things wind up in the gutters. Well, I had talked to a friend a while back about this situation, and she recommended a thing called pinky filters. And to be honest, I really didn't follow up on that. But I guess she realized how good I am at procrastinating, because she sent me a package of pinky filters. And I certainly appreciate it. I don't know whether she wants to be named on this, so I'm going to reserve that. But you know who you are, and thank you very much. Now I'm going to put them to use. This stuff is a mesh filter that I can cut to fit in those gutters. Basically what I'm going to do, once I clean out the gutters one more time, I'm going to put a strip of it, probably 2 or 3 feet long, right above each down tube. And then I also found some of this gutter material. Don't have a whole lot of it, but I've got enough to make it do. I'm going to put that over top of the filters. That will keep the filters in place, and the filters will allow the water to get through without allowing the debris to get through. And I've been standing out here for about 10 or 15 minutes trying to figure out how to make this video, and to be honest, there's really no way I can record while I'm actually doing the work. So it looks like I'm just going to have to bring you back after the fact and show you what it looks like. Before we do that, let's go up and do a little bit of a before. As you can see, I don't have a lid for the top of this tank, never had one, and I've put window screens up here time and again trying to keep the debris out and keep the mosquitoes out, incidentally, and it just hasn't been working. So I'm going to get actually the gutter is not in that bad a shape. I just cleaned it a couple weeks ago. But I'm going to get in here, clean this thing out. I'm going to put a strip of the pinky filter right along here. Might even put 2 layers of it. Then I'll put that metal gutter material over top of it. That'll hold it in place. It'll allow the water to get through, but it'll keep the debris from coming through. Not only that, on top of the gutter, or on top of the tank, I'm going to take more of the pinky filter. You can probably see some of the mosquitoes flying around there. That's a big issue down here. But I've got to modify this down tube a little bit, and I'm going to put more of the pinky filter over top of this. I've got some good sized zip ties that'll reach around there, that'll hold it in place. Then I'm going to take this metal grate and put on top of it to keep the drain plug or drain pipe from poking holes in it. That should solve my issue with the drainage, solve my issue with the debris, and eventually it should kill off any mosquitoes that are in there. And I know they're in there too, let me tell you. So anyway, let me get going on this and see what I can accomplish. Well, down here under the 55-gallon barrel, I've got about a 2-foot stretch of the pinky filter with the metal grating over top of it, held on by zip ties. That should keep any debris from going down the tube. The tube was a little bit of a problem. There was not a good enough lip to get a zip tie around here. So I just used this funnel that I've been using all along. That will keep any mosquitoes from getting in there. And it'll also let the water go in. And on the other end, over the IBC tote, I've got another 2-foot section of the pinky filter over the gutter. Again, held on by zip ties with the metal mesh on top. That'll keep the debris out. Goes down the drain. And then I was able to put the pinky filter over the top of the IBC tote and got a zip tie around that. So that'll keep that in place. Water can still run down, and this metal grate will keep this downspout from poking holes in the filter. All in all, I think that was a good fix. And again, my friend that sent me the pinky filter, thank you for prompting me to get busy and get this done. And incidentally, if any of you have got these IBC totes, you're using them for water catchment or something like that, I did a video several years ago about these valves. On this particular tote, I used it for about a month, just turning the water off and on with this valve. Basically all it is a single piece of molded plastic. Has a round ball inside with a hole through it. Turn it one way, it allows water to come through. Turn it the other way, it stops the water. Well, you turn it often enough and that thing will twist right off. This particular one is twisted off right down in here. So it doesn't turn the ball when I try to turn it. So I had to add this second piece. It's actually 2 pieces. One that would thread onto the threads of the valve. Another one that would thread into that I could put another faucet on. And that's what I use to control the water flow now. On and off. Because those plastic balls are not made for long-term use. So, just a little word of warning. But that's another project done. Well, except for trying to trim those trees, that one's for another day. But thanks again, and that's going to be a big help. I'll see y'all next time.